Hey guys, welcome to the Straight to Midnight podcast number 2, where for 1 hour we're going to be talking about all things gaming, anime, and League of Legends. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. So, how about we all introduce ourselves? That way we can get everyone to be acquainted with us again. For those of us who haven't been here at the podcast yet.
I guess I'll start. My name's Mark. I'm just a guy who likes to talk in the podcast. I'm more going to be talking in the anime sections because I'm a big weeaboo and I like watching anime and I have substantial knowledge on the topic. But I'll put my input on some of the games and stuff. So, thank you.
Steven, you can go.
What's going on? I'm Steven, also known as Asterluke. You can find me under anything under that handle, and I have a webcomic called Book of Soul.
Bose, you're up next.
Oh, I'm Bose, the edgy slide character. I will surpass you, and I'm stronger than when we were kids.
And then finally, Aaron.
Dude, I'm other Aaron. I don't really plan on talking too much, so.
And then, and that's basically all of us. And so this week we have a lot of topics to cover. And I think the biggest one we should get started with is the...
Kingdom Hearts 3!
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Let's get started with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah!
So, Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer dropped this week. And it dropped, I think, the day I was uploading our first podcast. So Steven can tell you all about it because he was the one that was watching the live stream when it happened. So I didn't even know there was a live stream. He just told me. He was like, live stream going on for Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so Steven, you take it away and tell him everything that happened because I don't really know too much. I got, the last bit of it, but, you're the one who watched all of it.
So, at E3, there was a really small Kingdom Hearts 3 teaser, and there wasn't really much information that was shown for the game. But at the end of the teaser, there was, the continuation that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be shown at the D23 Expo on July, when was it? July 15th. So, immediately, I was pretty hyped to see what they were going to show. Also kind of disappointed because E3 should have more things to show than that. But the trailer did not disappoint. It started with the Hercules world and showed a bit of that with the text running over the screen, kind of annoying. And then it starts all slowly, bringing you into it. And you see Andy's room and Woody and Buzz and everybody, and it's awesome. I can't wait to play the Toy Story level and to see what they have in store for this game because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts since the first game came out on the PS2. This game I've put a lot of time into it, and it's really satisfying seeing it finally coming because it said it's gonna come next year in 2018. No specific window yet, but we do have a year.
Mm-hmm. The biggest thing, I think, the takeaway from all of this was the fact that, of course, Toy Story 3 was now a part of the game.
Just Toy Story.
Yeah, just Toy Story was part of the game. The people there, I was there when they started talking about when they announced they announced the Toy Story part, they announced the Toy Story part, the trailer ends, they're like, Toy Story is part of the game, and the whole crowd explodes, and I'm like, it's just Toy Story, but then, everyone was, basically exploding, screaming. I was like, wow, people really like Toy Story. And
I think the screaming was for both. I definitely screamed for Toy Story, but also because we finally have a release window, like I said. I think 2018 was also part of the hype because people have been waiting so long. Honestly, this game was announced, back in 2013?
I think so.
Yeah, it was announced back in I'm trying to remember exactly what year, and
I think it was 2013. It's been a long time.
It was
since
It
heard
was
anything.
2013 at the Square Enix conference, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Sony? I think it was the Sony conference. They showed it
yeah,
there.
it's either one of those.
It was one of those two, and they showed it there. They gave us a trailer, which that was pretty hype moment because Kingdom Hearts had always like there was always rumors at every E3 that Kingdom Hearts might be there this year. There's been some rumors that it's gonna be there this year. There was always the rumor Kingdom Hearts was gonna be at E3, but like those rumors were always like, oh, they just came out all the time, but they were never verified. Nothing ever happened, and nothing ever came of it. And then that year they said the same thing, only we had a different source telling us, and it was actually a source I think somebody said from Square Enix that said it, and then Sony came. I think it was Sony that came out on stage and showed the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, and basically the whole internet exploded. Like, it was amazing to see Kingdom Hearts finally on stage again, but of course people were still a bit doubtful because while they gave us a trailer, there was no release date for it, and then I think we didn't hear anything from Kingdom Hearts for about 2 years or 3. I don't remember how many. It was
it's been a while.
It was like
I mean, it was barely even a trailer, honestly.
I mean, when
the main thing, Sora picking up a Keyblade. Oh, there you go. We gave you Kingdom Hearts. We're working on it.
Yeah, they showed like a small piece of gameplay, like 10 seconds of gameplay, and then they were like, we're working on it. And then like people exploded. It was like, oh my god, it's coming. And I'm like, they just said they're working on it. They didn't say they're releasing it. They're just working on it. And then now we finally have a release date, which is, well, not release, a release window, which is 2018. And we have yet to know whether that is early 2018, like mid 2018, or late 2018. My guess is going to be late 2018. Not because I'm just a pessimist, but the way Kingdom Hearts has been going so far, I feel they're going to take the most amount of time they can with that game and then release it.
I mean, I was expecting that game in like whenever I was like 75 years old.
Oh yeah, they were releasing trailers, but they weren't giving us release dates. Like, they kept showing us gameplay and gameplay and gameplay, but like nothing ever came of it. It was like, okay, here's some gameplay, and no release date. Okay, here's some more gameplay, no release date. And eventually people were like, okay, you're just gonna keep giving us trailers, but you know, are we gonna get this in like when 2080, when we're all dead and like, you know, I'm a grandpa by then, like. But they delivered at this expo, and it was pretty damn cool to see Kingdom Hearts on the stage again. Especially, like, it was a pretty long trailer too. It wasn't a short trailer. I think it was like
it was a good amount of length. It was great.
I think it was 5 minutes. Was it 5 minutes?
It was about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes long, and it showed a lot. It showed Toy Story. I think
It showed the different interactions because he got in the mech. Sora get in the mech.
Yeah, we saw him get in a mech.
It showed the Toy Story Keyblade. It showed, which this was in another trailer, where companions don't take up the place of Donald or Goofy. It showed a little bit of the magic, because now magics have finishers, which that hasn't been done before. And then some of the interactions with Blizzard, or I guess it's like probably Blizzaga or something, where it freezes the ground and you can kind of skate on it, and some of the locations for the Toy Story worlds and other stuff like that.
The Toy Story world looked fantastic. I think now the big question...
Oh yeah, it looks great. It looks straight out the movie. It's amazing.
I think the big question now is, now that Pixar has finally like done something for Kingdom Hearts, are we gonna get more Pixar in the world? Like, are we gonna get Cars? Are we gonna get I'm trying to remember what else. Like,
Monsters Inc. would be great.
Monsters Inc. What else have they done? Like Monsters Inc., Cars,
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Like, are we gonna get those?
There's a bunch of options.
There's a bunch of options if Pixar's willing to let them use their.
I would love to see the Incredibles and Kingdom Hearts. That'd be so.
I think for this game, I mean, I might eat my words when it comes out, but I think it just would look too similar stylistically to the Toy Story world because it's almost realistic, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Maybe for a future game.
Mhm.
But let's just hope for this one.
I would eat my mug.
I mean, let's not be talking about no Kingdom Hearts 4 because so far we only know
That
about.
game I'll play when I'm 80.
Kingdom
Toy
Hearts
Story
4.
waifus.
Before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes
There's
out,
no
it's gonna
Toy
be
Story waifus, Jose. So how about you shut up with your waifus?
Kingdom Hearts. Before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, it's gonna be Kingdom Hearts 3.14 Dream Drop XL Edition. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, the naming on some of those like Kingdom Hearts games is like Kingdom Hearts 2.2-659.
2.8, 365 over 2 days, Dream Drop,
Divided the square root of
Final
2.
Mix, yeah, divided by the square root. Honestly, it's crazy.
Honestly, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna give you we're gonna try and make sure we stretch out the amount of time before Kingdom Hearts 3. So we're gonna give you all these like kind of Kingdom Hearts, but we're just gonna put a bunch of weird ass names on them. Dude, it feels as though that's like what is it? Square Enix didn't know how to count to the number 3. Like they were just how do we make this game? How do we what should we call it? We can't call it Kingdom Hearts 3. So we need to call it something. Okay. Well, let's just call it Kingdom Hearts 2.5. And they were
Kingdom Hearts, not the third one.
yeah. I would have loved if eventually they came out with a game and they were just like, this is not the third one. By that point, they'd be just
Toy
trolling
Story
the
negative 3.
they'd be just trolling the fans at that point.
Maybe Gaben runs Square Enix. Maybe he's like the real leader because like he doesn't know the number 3 either.
Gavin?
Gaben.
Gavin?
Gaben from Steam. Lord Gaben.
Lord Gaben.
Oh, Gaben. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
Speaking of, whatever. I was trying to do a segue, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. Now we can move on to the next topic.
Speaking of Steam, you know what else is hot? Summer. What? Let's talk about anime.
That was terrible.
Not as good as the Ramus one.
Yeah, the Ramus one was great.
Ramus
No,
best girl.
let's talk about anime. So summer's here, anime's hot, and there's some pretty good animes that are out there right now. I think right now,
Little Witch Academia.
okay, I don't even think Little Witch Academia.
That already finished airing
I
on
don't
25
care.
episodes, that's me.
I started watching it this summer, so it's summer anime.
Okay.
Summer anime releases it did release in the summer though, so I'll give
Oh
it that.
yeah, okay, it did release in the summer. I think. Well, let's talk about one of the biggest ones so far, which is Boku no Hero Academia season 2.
Woo! Yeah, season 2 is great.
I think
Totoro.
it's still going. I haven't watched.
Yeah, no, it's
too
still
much.
going on. They're fighting that one guy. I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't know if people might think it's spoilers. But yeah, they're barely doing the hero internship arc right now, but it is great so far.
Yeah, it looks very good, and I think they took everything that was good about season 1 and just threw it up to 11 and said, you know what, let's just make this look even better. I think probably one of the hypest scenes I've seen of this summer anime season was the fight between Midoriya and Todoroki, and that was just like, wow.
It was so beautifully animated too. It was great.
I don't know if you guys have seen the 60 FPS tests on like YouTube yet, but like that fight in 60 FPS, it looks a bit weird, but it looked pretty damn good in 60 FPS. But no, the fights were they've gone all out on that show, and I think I'm trying to remember what's the studio that's doing
It's Bones.
Studio
Full
Bones.
Metal Alchemist, you know.
Studio Bones has done the My Hero Academia story justice. I mean, this anime is gonna like, I can totally see this anime becoming something along the lines of your Full Metal Alchemist, your Fairy Tail, your Naruto or your Dragon Ball. Like it can get up to that level, and I think it's kind of there, but it still needs a little bit more before it actually
I
makes it.
think it's there. I mean, the manga is number 2 to One Piece. Like, I think it's doing pretty
One
good,
Piece?
especially for not being
More
out that
waifus.
long. It is.
Yeah.
It is currently number 2.
I mean, for me, this like I haven't been watching Boku no Hero Academia because I've read the manga. So for me, all that happens when I see the show, I don't really watch the episodes. What I do is I find the parts that I want to see animate, like from what I've read in the manga. I just want to find the parts
Fake.
that I want to see animated. I want to see how that came out, and I watch it and I think it looks great. So it kind of it's really good. I like how it's turning out so far, and I think that Studio Bones is doing a good job, doing its job, making the fights have justice and meaning with what their counterparts in the manga. It's like because the fights in the manga were good, but I mean like seeing it animated and seeing like how he gets like how Full Cowl looks. Like I was like when I saw Full Cowl how it looked animated, I was like this, oh my god, this looks amazing.
Yeah, and the fights are very well animated, and I think they're doing it justice. I mean, you can't have an anime that reaches the top charts like all the time, and it just looks like crap. And I think they took the fights that were in the manga, which were already good in and of themselves, and then just added that little extra spice it needed to be even better. And they're making it look good, so I mean, kudos to them for making it work. And then the next big anime of this summer, and it already ended, but Attack on Titan season 2 just ended, and well, that it was good. I mean, yeah, the animation got even better, and it took a break, but I think the break helped with the story, and so there was some pretty good scenes in there. I think probably the best scene in there, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, is when Eren, well, I don't want to say it, but basically,
Just don't say it. It's gonna be a big spoiler.
yeah, it's a big spoiler, but
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I don't even know.
Something
Well,
cool
basically-
happens. Leave it at that.
basically some shit happens, and
Eren awakens a new power.
yeah, everyone finds out some stuff, some big shit happens, and it gets crazy. Like, season 1 was a ride, but season 2, like, is a fucking roller coaster. It's like every single like turn, like every single like second of it is like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Who's gonna get killed next? Or like, what the hell's going on? I don't even understand what's happening, and it's basically that, and you're just asking yourself, like, what's happening? But it's really good, and I think they did a good job of taking what was happening already in the manga and then adapting it onto the screen. It was a really long time since the first season of Attack on Titan. I don't even remember. When did the first season of Attack on Titan
That
release?
came out a long time.
Like
Like-
2011, right?
Yeah,
Something like that,
2011 was when
right?
was when
I
it
think so.
released, and then it went on hiatus for like, what is it? We're in 2017, so it went on like a 6-year hiatus. I
mean-
don't exactly remember what was the reason for that. If I don't remember exactly, I know there was some stuff that happened, and I think the tsunami wave that hit Japan also affected it. So there was some.
Did it come out during that time?
What?
Did it come out during
Did it come out during
that time?
2011? Yeah, I believe it did come out in 2011. And then, yeah, so things got pretty crazy, and we didn't see it for like 6 years. But they came back, and they came back strong, and they hit hard with this new season. So, I mean, I don't know the studio that does Attack on Titan. Let me look it up real quick.
I mean, I finally got to see my boy Eren finally do something. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I never liked Eren as a character, but this season he finally started to do something. I mean, he's still not the best character, but he does have some like good stuff in my book now, because he's starting to do stuff, and he's starting to actually do what he says he would do, which is fight the Titans instead of whining about it. Like,
Is that your main gripe with him? You never elaborated.
My main gripe with Aaron has always been that he'll always start talking about how the Titans are. He's letting everyone else take the spotlight. He's always the one in the background, and then finally this season we get to see him like kind of shine, do what he does best, use his powers, like actually use it to fight these Titans and do something good. But
Yeah, and I think this season they did really well with that. And then, of course, this has been going on for a long time, but I still considered it summer anime because it's still releasing episodes. Dragon Ball Super is also happening right now. And I haven't watched Dragon Ball Super right now, but
Man, I got some.
Does that count?
I
guess.
I think it does, because I think... okay, let's say... Okay, we won't count the entire show as summer anime, but we will count the fact that the tournament arc did happen this summer. So we can talk about the tournament arc.
Okay, that's fine.
Man, I got some words to say about this, because like I am getting so sick and tired of the fights right now in the tournament. Like I'm seeing Krillin like fighting people that he should not be able to fight at his level at currently. It's like it's so BS right now. Like there are people that are like super like I understand with Master Roshi, like they have Master Roshi in the tournament, and they have him fighting in there and all that kind of stuff, and he's fighting a whole bunch of people. The thing is, he's fighting people that are like way stronger than him, and I understand that he trained and got stronger, but even so, there's no way. Like some of the people he fights, it just doesn't make sense how he beats.
I mean, they took basically what they did with Dragon Ball Super was they basically decided to throw away the same formula they had with Dragon Ball Z Kai, or Dragon Ball Z if you just want to talk about the normal.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, just Dragon Ball Z, and they threw that away, which was Goku was the main star of the story, and I think this one, while Goku is still the main star, he's not they're trying to make it seem as Goku is not the only one that can fight. He's not the only. Everything is not determined by him anymore. Like, he now has to work with others if he wants to succeed in his fights, because he can't do things alone anymore. And I think that's the point of the whole like story with the gods, which is the gods are at a whole nother level. And while Goku is a very strong mortal, he's not a god. And he will still need the help of his friends to do so. And so I think that's what they're trying to reinforce, the idea that while Goku is stronger than all these other people, and maybe these people shouldn't be able to fight these people, we don't exactly know exactly who they should be able to fight. I mean, they were all there for the Boo saga. They all had to fight against Boo in some way or another. So, unless
you were Yamcha.
Yeah, unless you were Yamcha. But, and then, what is it? And then Krillin also fought against Frieza as well. So, the idea that Krillin can't be as strong, or Master Roshi can't be as strong, is probably stretching it, because we all saw how weak you can actually get if you don't do training. So
yeah, Gohan's pretty weak. But I mean, the thing is like there's like fights that goes on, like where Goku's fighting Krillin one-on-one, Super Saiyan God blue form, and he's having a rough time with it, and I'm just like, these guys don't reach, like, they said already that Goku is at God level, and these guys, Goku doesn't feel a God presence from them. So even if it is like them training and getting stronger and all that kind of stuff. This they can't. You have to like make sure like that they're not like they're not getting strength from nowhere, because I mean some of these guys are just fighting Goku, and it's like what that doesn't make sense. And then Goku goes into the tournament and he's fighting these insanely strong guys, and I'm like, then how come he couldn't just beat Krillin or like these guys like easily? I don't know. That's my gripe.
I think, okay, so people who always complain, I think, yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints about, oh yeah, Goku's getting his ass kicked by Krillin, he's getting his ass kicked by, like, all these, like, randos that were never strong before, and I think that just has to do with the fact of Goku's character, and if you know anything about Goku's character, you know he's cocky. It's stated within the manga and by the creator himself that Goku will never fight at full strength ever against an enemy. Like, while he may have the strength to beat an enemy, he always wants to see how far the enemy can push themselves. He always wants to push himself even further, which is one of his biggest weaknesses, is the fact that he won't finish fights when he has the chance to finish the fights. He'll always want to see how strong his enemy can, how much further can they go. And that may be the reason why he gets beaten by like Krillin or like Gohan or like somebody who hasn't trained as much as he has, because he just underestimates his opponents. He believes himself. He knows he's stronger than them, but he tries to he tries to see how much further they can push themselves. So more than likely, when he was fighting Krillin, he wasn't fighting at 100%. There's no way he was fighting at 100% when fighting Krillin. He was more than likely holding himself back, which is the reason why he got, like, kind of beat by Krillin. So, I think that's why the idea that these characters are weak, they shouldn't be able to win against these other people. And the tournament itself, none of the characters we've seen so far are actually that strong, actually. Like, none of them are actually at the level Goku, Vegeta, or Frieza are at. They're just literally like...
Except Jiren.
Yeah.
Jiren is...
Yeah, Jiren is.
And maybe Hit.
Yeah, and maybe Hit. But, like, the rest of them are just, like, random nobodies that, like, that are kind of at that level, but they're nowhere near what Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Jiren, or Hit are at. It's like, here's where they are, and then, like, they're at, like, basically mid-range, and then the other 5 are, like, basically god level. And, like, that...
that was kind of funny, because no one saw that, except for Mark.
Yeah, that was kind of...
So all you did was put one hand lower, then lift it up. I mean, I saw what you were doing through my mind's eye, but that was just... You're talking to the rest of us, too, Carlos. Come on.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? You like Dragon Ball? Damn it, Aaron.
I haven't watched it. I've watched some of it, not a lot, so...
What about you? Any summer anime that you've been interested in? Damn it, Aaron.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I've been off and on with anime. There's a lot of anime I don't know, that hasn't interested me any yet. So...
I mean,
I'm pretty much just watching old ones that I haven't seen yet.
Let's segue into another thing, which was we just started Castlevania.
No. That's not the segue.
That's not the segue, because
basically
we need somebody else.
Him not having anything means we'll have to turn the page to does reading manga beforehand ruin the anime experience?
Yeah, because you were talking about this with...
That was good.
You talked about this with Boku no Hero, saying that it was very... Or what was it? I don't know which one it was, but you said one of them you couldn't watch anymore because you knew so much of the manga and you knew what was getting happening, so it kind of ruined the experience of... Well, yeah.
The one that I was talking about was Attack on Titan. I didn't watch Attack on Titan at all. Like, I the only thing I saw was the end, the entire thing, because I just felt like even though I saw the animation, even though I knew everything, I was just like, this doesn't interest me because I've read the manga. I know everything that happens, and like, and I know how like much more they'll progress in this. The thing that kind of like that makes me like get turned off on like an anime is when like I'm reading the manga and like I reach a point where they're like way stronger. Like take for example me watching Dragon Ball Z now in DB Super, and then just me going back to watching Dragon Ball, like the original one where Goku was a kid. I would be like, I can't watch that because he's just so weak, and I'm just like he's gonna become way stronger, and it's like all like no matter how hard they try, I'm just gonna be like he's way stronger than this. It just doesn't do it for me.
That's such a weird argument to me, because I mean, if you're drawn to the stronger one, wouldn't you like to see the growth? I mean, to each their own. I respect your opinion, but it's just funny that that's your reason. That I can't go back to the original one because they just get so much stronger later. I kind of understand how that correlates to the manga if it's like barely anything, but I mean, personally, it can sometimes harp on the experience if it's something heavy spoiler related that actually makes a big difference. But I don't think them getting stronger is so much to justify what you're saying.
That's what happens with me, at least. That's just a personal opinion I have, where I'm just like, I see a character get like to the point where they're like beating gods and stuff, and then I start seeing them like fighting like these weird little henchmen. Like when Goku was a kid, he had to fight like some robots and stuff, and I'm just like, you beat this stuff like so easily in the new episodes, and I don't know, it's just something I've never enjoyed watching happen. Like I never.
So you don't like seeing, basically what you're saying, you don't like seeing decreases in power levels. You like seeing if you see your character at its top physical performance.
That's not really a decrease in power level. I think it's more of a problem of just going back to it. I think that's where the problem lies, because they're not getting weaker.
Yeah, they're not getting weaker. I mean,
I don't like going back to when he was training and like trying to get to the point where he is now. I mean, I'm fine if I start there. Like, if I start there and I don't know where the ending is or how strong he's gonna get, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see his growth. I want to see how he develops and gets his powers and stuff. But if I've already seen where his peak is, I just don't want to see. I just don't want to see the rest. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel that way. I feel as though I love what I've read some manga before, and some of it's been like I read it and I'm ahead of the anime, and for me it's always just been, I've seen the manga, now let me see this scene that I saw in the manga, now let me see it in anime form. I want to see it in anime form now. It doesn't ruin the experience for me, because while I may know they can get stronger, for me it's yes, but here was this one scene that happened in the manga that showed them getting stronger again. This one big crucial scene. Now let me see how this happens in an anime format. How does this change them? Like, how does it look? Because it's one thing to visualize it in your head, and it's another thing to actually see what it would look like animated. So I think that's why I don't feel as though manga ruins the experience for me. I feel as though it just enhances it and just lets me know what's going to happen next, which I think the only thing manga will do for me is kind of take away the suspense of what's coming up next. If I already know, like, this is going to happen, so I don't need to worry about it. Like, you know, like, the next scene that's going to follow up after the one you've just seen. So, like, for Attack on Titan, for example, there are plenty of scenes in there where I was like, I know what's going to happen next, and it's going to be a big thing, but I want to see it animated now, so I'm fine with seeing it again. So, I mean, I don't think manga takes it away, but, I mean, Steven might be able to say something about it. I don't know. What do you think, Steven?
For me, personally, the one anime that I did read before watching was in recent memory One Punch Man, and I stopped reading the manga because it was deterring from my experience. I mean, for myself personally, I felt. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. That's just the kind of show it is, but it. I like seeing things new in the medium of animation more so because sometimes it doesn't represent the action well enough, or sometimes they get a really good studio to do it a lot of justice. So there's, I mean, for me, it does kind of deter from it just because I like that suspense. I like not knowing what's going to happen or what's going to come up next. Sometimes it's okay, like it's fun seeing, oh, cool, they're going to get this kind of power, but right now they don't have it. But I don't feel like I don't feel the need to harp on the experience once I know it's going to happen, especially if I know it's going to get an anime adaptation. Sometimes it is nice reading the manga afterwards when the anime kind of didn't do anything to end the story, like in Dead Man Wonderland specifically. I remember I went back to it to go see how it ended because that was unsatisfying.
What about you, Jose?
Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah, let me put in my 2 cents. So, my example would be JoJo manga and JoJo anime. So you see, you read the JoJo manga, good story, decent characters, you like them all, whatever. But then you watch the anime, and it's just a meme,
Is that a JoJo reference?
basically, dude. In my opinion, like, the manga will always tell more of a story than the actual anime. Because you can read character thoughts.
Yeah, I think.
I just watching the animation because the animation's nice, and they just add memes.
Yeah.
Some filler is okay.
Yeah. So
The only
basically. Oh wait, you can go.
Yeah, the only time I see myself like reading manga is when like the anime's like too slow, like too slow coming out, and I just want to, the story's good, but I just don't want to wait for the anime to, come out.
But don't you read the
So-
light novels?
Yeah, sometimes I go to the light novels. I just want to, I don't know. I'm more to the story than like the visuals, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I usually enjoy the manga or the light novels more than the actual anime because it's a lot faster in the story. You can just read at your own time.
Yeah, like going back to JoJo, like JoJo is like one of those really like it's weird, but it fits the example perfectly of the manga tells the story better, but the anime just makes it look the anime is just basically it just takes what's happening in the story and just says let's crank it up to 11 and make this look as insane as possible because if you know anything
Bizarre.
I mean,
That's
I think that's actually against the point. It looks just as crazy in the manga. Have you seen the manga? Some of those scenes. I mean, I think this is gonna go straight against Jose's. I don't think that it really ever deters from the story unless it specifically doesn't have the same beats. I think hearing a character's thoughts are all right, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's enough to say that it tells the story better. Not all the time. There are definitely some examples where it could be done better when it's animated. I mean,
I mean
the Guitar series.
I mean I've seen
Well,
JoJo and like I've seen the show itself and like I've seen parts of the manga and I've seen what the manga looks like and I've seen what the show looks like.
Killer Queen.
And the manga looks just as insane as the show. If not, the show looks more insane than it, or the manga looks. There are times when the manga just looks even more insane than the show. I mean, I've seen compilations of like crazy shit in JoJo, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't even understand. Like, I think the last compilation I saw some guy getting like. Some dude was like dropping something into his mouth. It was like I don't know what it was, but it looked so weird, and I was like, "What's happening in this scene?"
You know what I want to do to somebody one day though.
Oh.
I want to sit them down and I want to compile like a whole bunch of scenes from JoJo, but I don't want to give them any context for any of the scene, and just show them the scenes. Like, they're gonna be so confused with some of the scenes that happen in that show because they're crazy with what they do in those scenes. Like they got apes, they got like an orangutan smoking. It's so weird sometimes.
Hey, Jose, I think you wanted to talk, so you can go ahead.
There is random videos like that, just YouTube, out of context.
No,
videos.
I think he just wants to show somebody.
Yeah,
I
like
know.
basically what he said was he wants to make one of his
I want to
own,
experience JoJo without knowing
and then
it.
just grab some random off the street, sit him down, and just say, "Yo, watch my video real quick," and explain absolutely nothing of what's happening. Just like,
Carlos, you can't just steal people.
That's
I
why.
can.
Yes, you can.
I'll go over to Aaron's house and I'll steal him from his house.
Dude, I cannot watch
How did you feel
JoJo
about
Bizarre Adventure for that reason. Like, the first episode I ever saw was, like, some guy blowing bubbles and, like, fucking wrecks a kid or something. And then
I know what you're
The-
talking about.
the
though.
main character brings out, like, clacker balls or whatever. It's like his weapon. I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch something else.
That's Joseph Joestar. Young Joseph Joestar.
It's like so weird I can't take it serious.
dude, we gotta stop right now because we're gonna be talking about JoJo, and then like we're gonna get like all the JoJo fans just to come onto our video and just say, "Is that a JoJo reference? Is that a JoJo
I got-
reference?"
I got the perfect
I'll
segue.
tell
Please
you right
let
now,
me
I
do the
love the
segue.
JoJo fans.
I mean, sure, do the segue. I mean,
So, in speaking of anime, I watched the Kizu Monogatari, the third part of the movie, and it was really nice.
Nice.
You know,
You know what else
but
is
talks
nice?
about vampires.
No. That's not one of the
Monogatari.
topics.
that's not one of the
We're
topics,
here.
yo.
No, you know what else is nice? The rework for Urgot.
Yes. Yeah. So.
You mean the God?
Yeah. Okay.
Forgot to be kidding me.
Urgot. Yeah, so Urgot releases in what patch does Urgot release in? I'm trying to remember. Urgot. Mark, can you look it up real quick?
I got it. I gotta look it up.
So yeah, Urgot releases in whatever patch, but so we've all seen the videos of Urgot. We've all seen what he does, and like, I think the new Urgot looks just a million times better. He doesn't look like a piece of garbage and like walking around like.
I mean, he
I'm-
still looks like a piece of garbage.
No, he doesn't look like a piece of garbage like he does
No,
now.
I mean his kid is good, but
Can't
he still
online.
looks like a piece of garbage.
okay, he.
What do you? He has one buff arm, dude. He could kill you with that arm.
I'll
He'd
kill
flick
him.
you.
Dude, have you seen him? He literally grabs you and like
okay,
choke
okay,
slams
okay,
you
let me tell
over
you
his
something
head.
right now. Yeah, he has a big arm. I got a big sword. I'm gonna cut his arm right off.
Like, I've seen the new Urgot and like.
And Urgot comes out in patch 7.15.
7.15, so yeah, 7.15. So we still got some time, but like, dude, that new Urgot, like, okay, so like the reason I don't like the Urgot that looks like now is like the Urgot that looks like now, and I know this is true, this is what he is, but Urgot basically looks like a fucking crippled. That's basically what he is. Like when he walks
He
around
is,
the
though.
That's what he's always been.
He
But
is
like,
a crip-
Trust I don't think.
okay, he doesn't need to look as crippled, but like, literally, when he walks around the map, he looks like he's lumbering and like can't even like steady himself on his fucking stilts.
Okay.
Garen literally chopped him up to bits, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
That's
isn't that
why.
his
That's
lore?
why he's so injured. He should look crippled. Literally, he just left him with that one arm.
Ionic trash can with legs, homing missiles of death.
I mean,
Dude, that hook, the new ult he has, that is the most scariest thing I have ever seen. Like, that shit is like gonna give me nightmare. Like, I'm gonna be at top lane, I'm gonna just see that thing come out of a bush. I'm like this, holy fuck.
I mean,
I thought we talked about his ult in the
yeah,
last
we did
one.
talk about his ult in the last
Did
one.
we?
Yeah, I mean, I think the rework's really good. I mean, they fixed a lot of stuff that was the problem with him. I think one of the big problems with him was, I don't know if any of you guys ever actually played Urgot, but the big thing about Urgot was he was really strong early game, but like for some reason it felt as though the further you got into the game, like it felt as though the more items you had on him, the less damage you were outputting. So it was like it was weird. It just felt weird playing him. It was like your damage fell off the more items you built, which was just weird. But like in lane, he was an absolute god. I mean, he had so much zoning ability and so much ways to like win the lane. But I think the problem with him was just that his ult was so niche. Like it was so weird to use. Like especially in situations where you were getting ganked, there was like never a real good time to use his ult. I think the only time you would use his ult was like if you were just trying to like kill someone really quickly and just needed them to stand still for like a couple of seconds.
Even in a team fight, that thing was so useless because he would ult and switch places with the person and then die because he would be in the middle of the enemy team.
Yeah, it was like you can ult and you can take the ADC out of fight, but you will die as well. And it was like that's not a really good trade. In fact, that does absolutely nothing for the team. The tank dies, and so my team dies. So I don't really want to do that. So there was never a really good trade off with him. It was like, and with this one they kind of fixed that where his ult is now just,
Pool.
a pool that you can do from a distance, and you don't have to play so aggressive. I think his passive though is like what's gonna make him OP. That passive is like pretty fucking strong. I've seen some videos of that, and it's like, all his abilities are good, and then you just see his passive, and then you're just like, okay, well that's fucking broken. Well, I think
Graves with the cigar.
Graves with a cigar.
Me and Steven started today that Graves has his cigar back.
Does he?
It's just an ultimate skin, guys, but Graves does have his cigar confirmed.
Oh my god. Please, guys, stop. Graves is not getting his cigar back.
No, he does have his cigar.
He has it back.
Oh, okay.
He has it
No,
in game. Yeah, when we played a game with Graves and he had his cigar.
That's that. Okay, well that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. But what was it?
It's because he had an ultimate skin, though.
I think my most favorite ability on Urgot, because I've actually seen him in the PvE, and this was like my own Urgot was playing against another like top laner. But I think the favorite thing about him is just I think it's his E ability. His E ability is basically like a dash, and he just grabs you and tosses you over his head. It's basically Swain, but it looks just so much. No, it's basically Singed, but it looks much more cooler. Like he just tosses you over his head, and then like, oh, rip. And he does it with one arm too. Like, holy shit, Garen may have crippled this guy, but like, this guy was some fucking other.
He's
beast.
jacked.
Dude, he's.
Yo, I'm starting
He's
to
fucking
get
jacked, dude.
I'm starting to get so salty about Singed with his fucking movements. Like, that's ridiculous how fast he runs. Like, you get righteous glory on that dude. Like, he's moving but
Just bully lanes very well. I mean, he's a very good lane bully. I mean, it's very hard to go in on an Urgot and actually beat him because, I mean, he just has so much early game damage, and then if he lands that like effing E right now, it just heads towards you, and like you just can repeatedly fire his missiles, which those Qs have such a long range. I've seen the range on that. That's insane how much range he gets with that. I don't know who thought up that was a good idea to give him that much range, but they need to fire that guy, or not fire him, because that's like the only reason why he's relatively good. And then I think they announced this week the next set of like reworks that they're doing, which was
Udyr.
It was
Udyr.
Yeah, they were doing changes to Udyr. Then Evelyn is next on the rework list. I think Aatrox.
Does she need a rework?
Evelyn?
I thought she was pretty good.
It's it's just to make her abilities. It's the same thing like Urgot. Just make the abilities more cohesive with who her character is and everything like that.
Yeah, because
Because Urgot still has some similar moves. It's just slight differences for a better experience for the player.
Because some of the stuff she does is just like worthless with who she is.
You
I'm-
just mash the Q button.
Yeah, just mash the Q button, which doesn't really make sense considering she's a stealth character. So like, it would make more sense if she was like an assassin-based character. I think they want to make her more of an assassin if they rework her. So I don't know if they will.
Kind of like LeBlanc.
Yeah, kind of like LeBlanc. Because if you really think about it, that stealth is very good for like an assassin, but that Q isn't. Like that Q is basically like, let me just mash Q real quick and hope they die before they get away from me. Which in most cases, if you have a flash up, you will, or if you have a dash up, you will. So it's very hard to do anything as Evelyn right now, which is one of the reasons she doesn't see so much play. Plus, she's so very easily to be countered because of her passive. Like, her passive is just basically like, if you put down vision words, you win. You'll win all the time because she can never gain.
Her passive is the game of peekaboo.
Yeah, her passive is... the reason she's so good at ganking is because nobody can see her. But if you have vision wards everywhere, I mean, there's basically nothing she can do. There's like no like good place she can head towards that will keep her safe. So like, the best way I think the best way to do it is for bot lane, if you really want to shut down an Evelyn real well, is for your bot laner to put a vision ward in the tri-bush, one near the river, your mid laner to put a vision ward in either of the side bushes, and then your jungler to put a vision ward in the other bush, and then your top laner just to ward the one bush, and then you're basically good. And like, that kind of just shuts her down very hard, because then you'll just know where she is all the time, and her only like true like good thing about her is the fact that she just can't be seen, because all of her damage needs to be done up close. So if you're able to spot her out before she gets near you, I mean, there's nothing she can do. She doesn't have any hard CC to stop anybody, I mean, other than her ult, which her ult is just very weird, like, with who she is, because, like, her ult is, like, I don't know if you guys have seen her ult, which is, like, it bursts out, and the more people it hits, it gives you a shield, I believe? It doesn't do... Huh?
Yeah, no, it gives you a shield.
It only slows.
Yeah.
No, it gives you part shield.
I thought it was just. I thought it was what Jose said.
What do you mean?
I thought it was just slow.
Be hit and slows the enemies.
Yep, it's a massive area spikes, and it just slows for like a lot, and like it does a lot of damage to enemies around it, with also doing area effect damage and giving you a shield for each enemy hit. So it's very good in team fight based situations, but like the only thing it does is do like just some good area effect damage, but other than that, after you use it, there's nothing you can do. And that's one of the other problems with Ellen, which is she has no presence in a team fight, because since she's a character that needs to get up close, she will almost all the time get bursted down before she can get near anybody, because you'll just kill her before she does anything. Unless, of course, you're Aaron, who doesn't know how to play and gets killed like every 5 seconds playing Corky. Like, that was... Aaron, you suck.
Who's the highest ranked here, piece of shit?
Ladies, you're both bronze. Calm down.
He's silver.
Yeah, Aaron's silver 1.
Bronze 2.
Damn.
Nah. No, I think the rework for Urgot's gonna be good. I just think there's just... I think they kept who he is still, and they didn't really change too much about him. I think the only thing people are going to have to get used to is using the W, and I think just learning how to use his passive. Which his passive shouldn't be too hard to use, but I think at lower ranks you're going to have a rough time learning how to use it, because I believe the passive works on you have to circle around your enemy to be able to get the actual damage done, or your enemy.
Yeah, we mentioned it last time.
Yeah.
It's like Fiora.
Yeah, it's like Fiora, so it's kind of weird, but at the same time not. So, but most of what you're gonna need to win with him is basically like speed and damage. So items that give you speed and like items that give you sticking potential are probably your best bet on Urgot right now because they're.
Can I just get Fiora back on boots? Can I get the enchantment Fiora up again?
Oh, enchantments on boots again? Dude, that's the living meme right there. I remember when they removed enchantments on boots, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're only gonna take them away for like a month, and then we'll bring back some new enchantments. We're just doing some hot fixes to them," and then they never brought them back.
Guys, please stop. Okay, I have a theory before this podcast ends, right? So, last time we talked about Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts is crazy. And then, subtly, I think somewhere in there, we talked about Graves, and then he got a cigar. Don't say things you don't want to come true. Enchantments will come back to boots. 2018, League of Legends.
When he dies mid-sentence.
Yeah, when you die mid-sentence. Yeah, no, yeah, maybe enchantments might come back. Maybe we might get an announcement this week. They're like, "Oh, enchantments coming back," and then like everyone will be like, "Oh, holy shit! The Straight to Midnight podcast predicted it." Anyways, and
Like Rito, I love that you think that Rito would be like, "Yo, the Straight to Midnight podcast just mentioned that enchantments are gonna be coming back. I can't believe they predicted this."
yeah,
Who
I
the
know.
hell leaked
I'm
it?
under 32 views.
Yeah, I know. How about they just bring back Deathfire Grasp? What is it?
Okay, wait, we're not mirroring.
Regal's
Okay.
Lantern.
Wriggle's Lantern. Bring back all these OP items. Spirit of the Elder Lizard.
Hashtag 2017 Wriggles Lantern.
Hashtag 2017, the throwback League of Legends. We're going back into the days of old League. They're gonna bring back old Summoner's Rift, dude. Oh, bring back the old Legacy client. Nah. No, yeah, that's just one of the memes that, like, I remembered that day. It was like, they were taking it away, and then, like, they never brought it back, and so that was just a meme. Anybody, you guys remember when they still had public chat rooms? Like, the chat rooms where it was, like, 100 people in?
Oh, yeah.
And like
I remember that.
and if you ever made it in, it was just literally like spam bots like throwing in like links to everything, and you were just like, "Here, get your free Riot points."
Dude, bots on demand.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got a bunch of riot points from that.
The bushes rustle.
Oh my god! Before we go, I want to say one story, which was the bots on Dominion story. So, basically, for like, I don't know how long. So
For like 3 months, I've been telling you kids, there are bots on the min. There's no
Okay.
way these people
Okay.
are real people playing.
In my defense, I was one of the first people to believe you on that because we played a game together on Dominion, and there was just this one guy that was just like, "This guy cannot be a human player. No one is this stupid." And I was like, "This guy's got to be a bot." And so I was one of the first to believe you on it.
So, anyways, we were playing Dominion, and then the new notice came out that they were removing Dominion and they were replacing it with the rotating game mode. And then, what was it? We're reading why they removed Dominion and all this stuff, and then we get to a point where they say there were a bunch of bots on Dominion, and then I get a message from Aaron, literally probably an hour or two after that post was up. And it was like, "I told you there were bots on the minion. You owe me $50 now." And I'm like, I never bet with you any money, dude. I just said there were no bots on the minion. I mean, I was wrong. There were bots, but I didn't think there were bots on the minion. I mean, I never encountered any bots on the minion.
Still waiting.
You still waiting for
The bushes rustle.
the bushes rustle, the living meme.
Oh yeah, the living meme is that you could, when someone's coming to gank you, if you see the bush rustle, run. They're coming for you.
I'm telling you, dude. I saw the bush rustle and a fully stacked Cho'Gath walked out.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like, we were playing a game, and then, like, Jose goes, because he was up against some Cho'Gath, and I think the Cho'Gath was fed and Jose wasn't. And, like, Jose walks by the bush, and he's like, I saw that bush rustle. I'm like, you what? He's like, I saw that bush rustle. Cho'Gath's in there. And I'm like, he's not in that bush, dude. And, like, Jose walks by, and, like, a fully stacked Cho'Gath walks out towards him. And he was like, I told you, I saw the bushes rustle. Of course, I don't believe that meant anything, but Jose sticks by his delusions that if the bushes rustle, you're getting ganked. So
Also, the living meme in this chat is never call him Nautilus. His name. You gotta call him Natalius, because when Aaron,
You just say that.
Nah. Anyways, I think that's about an hour already, so I think we're about done here. So, anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to our second podcast. Yeah, this is our second podcast.
I said, whoop.
Oh, yeah. So, thanks for tuning in to our second podcast. And, of course, the only other person in here that you can really find is Steven, so I'll let him say whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can find him under the username or handle Asterluke, and that's like, I think, SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, or just read Book of Soul. It's on Tumblr and Tapastic. And yeah, I usually post on some of those places, mostly on Tumblr, but for art.
Yeah, and so, and of course, all the pictures you see here were drawn by Steven, so, yeah, and I think that's it for this.
I have to apologize to my master. I have used the forbidden podcaster jutsu once more.
Shut up. And,
just end it, please.
For once,
Before it says something else.
And, okay, and that's it for our second podcast, and I guess I will see you guys later.
Peace.
See you next week.